forget to subscribe to my channel, and while you're at it, click the bell to be notified of future videos. This block is called Scrap Buster, and this is your chance to use up scraps. Here's the diagram. We have 2 snowball units and 2 9-patch units. Here is 4 blocks set block to block, and here is a larger quilt. And I will have instructions for piecing the larger quilt. We just have 2 patches and they're all squares. We're going to use the stitch and flip method for making the snowball units. Patch A is a 2-inch finished square. We cut 2.5-inch squares. We'll need 18 assorted of the accent fabric and 8 of the background fabric. Here's the AccuQuilt dies that will cut this shape. Patch B is a 6-inch finished square. We cut 6.5-inch squares. We'll need 2 patches for the background fabric, and here are the AccuQuilt dies that will cut this shape. For step 1, we piece the 9-patch unit. And in my demo, and for 1 block, I'm just going to do patches. I've cut all squares for this. Then we're going to use the stitch and flip method or the folded corner method to make the snowball units. And we'll assemble the block. Down here are instructions to make the 60 by 84 quilt shown here. And these instructions are for strip piecing or for just cutting squares. Or you can use any kind of combination. If you have leftover strips, 2.5-inch strips, you can sew those together to strip piece, or you can just simply cut patches. Here are the fabrics I've chosen. These are low volume prints, and these, all the background, are low volume prints. And let me show you what low volume prints are. Low volume prints have a very light background, and then a light or just small print that from a distance they almost look solid or just look blotchy. And this one I call a low volume prints because it's a light background, but it's a light blue color. These tone-on tones are also low volume prints. And here are some red circles and tan dots. And this is a cream colored background with little darker cream or brown or beige little keys printed on them. So all of these are low volume prints. And what you can do when you're trying to determine if you want to use low volume prints or a particular low volume print, put them all together like this. And the ones that don't go well will stand out, and you can pull those and use them in something else. To make a 9-patch unit, it has 9 patches in it. So we'll take 5 of the accent fabrics and 4 of the background fabrics. Lay them out like this. Then we'll stitch these together. So you stitch the top row together, the middle and the bottom row, and press your seams open. Then you'll stitch all the rows together and press your seams. Then you'll make 2 of these 9-patch units for each block. Now our 2 9 patches are ready. Let's put them to the side. The remaining fabric, the 2 background large squares, and then your 8 smaller squares, we're going to use the stitch and flip method to make a snowball unit out of these. And what that is, you're going to sew one of these squares to every corner of each of these blocks. And for stitch and flip, you draw a diagonal line. You stitch right to the right of the line. Then you trim it off, and then you fold it up like this. So you get a corner that looks like that. The other method is to use the folded corner clipper, and there are other tools you can use too. I'm only familiar with the folded corner clipper. And you put it down on the snowball unit and the square unit like this, and you cut it. Then once you cut it, you'll stitch your 1/4 inch or your scant 1/4 inch, and then press the seams open. And you'll do this from every corner of each of these squares. So stay tuned for a short tutorial on both of those methods if you're not familiar with that. Then we'll go and stitch our 2 snowball units. On the back of the accent fabrics, you're going to draw a diagonal line. Place this right sides together on the background. But if you can see, I've got my stitching just to the right side of that line. And this area here, the outside corner, we're going to cut off. You can use scissors or you can use your rotary cutter, and you're going to cut off this little right corner. And then you're going to flip it up like this and press it just like this. Because you stitched just to the right side of that line, you have a nice even edge on these two sides, and that's what you want. Our next unit is the snowball, and we place our square in the corner, and we line up our 3 points on the ruler, the top, the side, and then this side here, and cut. 2 snowball units are done now, and we'll just put the block together. Just alternate the 9 patch and the snowball unit. Put them together like this. Stitch these 2 together and these 2. Press the seams and then stitch the rows together. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and while you're at it, click the bell to be notified of future videos.